Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is. Hey guys, how you going? You might hear some birds squawking in the background, can't help that. Fernando Cow said Rep Anna Paulina Luna just broke her silence on JRE. She confessed the truth about the Chinese billionaire who funds the US riots. You mean it's not George Soros? UFO photos that terrified even the Pentagon. Then came Russia's JFK files that go public this fall. Every single American needs to hear this. The classified UFO photos that made her believe. I've seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind, and she's pushing to declassify everything this year. Here's what she told Joe. I just want to say, I thought they were government-made vehicles, but they have been, back designed, you know, from something else. If there are aliens, I believe they're interdimensional, not extraterrestrial, but that's just me. And I've also seen one myself back in 1989. So let's have a listen to what she's telling Joe now.
We know.
When you say interdimensional beings, that they know that these are interdimensional beings, how do they know that?
Based on testimony, would be based on witnesses that have come forward. But what I can tell you is,
so the witnesses just were told that they were interdimensional?
that they've seen things. And what I can tell you without getting into classified conversations is that there have been incidences that I believe where very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space.
That's very vague.
Yeah. So, look.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Look. Have I seen a portal open? No. Have I seen a spaceship? Personally, no. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes. Have I seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind? Yes. Is there historical significance to this? Yes. Is there multiple events that go back to, I would argue, maybe even before the time of Christ that have documented this in text? Yes.
There you go. Very interesting. The base commander who fled when questioned about aliens, Luna, Gates and Bitchute, went to Eglin Air Force Base demanding to see UAP evidence. Now, UFOs are unidentified flying objects. UAPs are unidentified aerial phenomena evidence, okay? Mid-meeting, the commander got nervous and left for Georgia. He never returned.
So he had been, he didn't want to, from what I gather, get taken off flight status. And he's like, I really can't discuss it. We couldn't really identify it, essentially, and it had outperformed them. And so that was my first, from a military perspective, kind of experience with someone who basically, there's a stigma within the flight community. Do you want to lose your security clearance? Is there this level of crazy that people kind of brand that will stick with you and kind of ruin your career?
But doesn't he have instrumentation on his jet?
Well, at the time, right? So it's an older platform, but he really didn't want to even talk about it. And I bring that up because now with our investigation and the task force that I run, actually the reason why the task force was formed was because of an event that happened at Eglin Air Force Base where both myself, Representative Matt Gaetz, and Representative Tim Bitchute actually had responded and gone to investigate multiple Air Force pilots that had come forward in regards to UAP incidences that had occurred, and they were alleging that the Air Force was covering it up.
Interesting. US defence contractors have alien technology. They operate away from government oversight with special access programs that even Congress can't touch. It's like us dropping a cell phone during caveman times. Luna believes they've back-engineered, that's what I was trying to get to, back-engineered an alien craft.
Problem.
Do you think that it's possible that these are U.S. vehicles that are top secret?
I definitely think that there's a level of advanced technology that the U.S. government has. And I think that tech can be housed within the defense contract realm. And of course, some information is going to be classified. But I can also tell you, and this might sound crazy, but based on our investigations and stuff that we've seen, okay, there is definitely something that I think would rival what we know currently with physics, and a tech that potentially is out there that we don't have the ability to reproduce, because it would basically be like dropping a cell phone right off back during the time of maybe caveman. So like we just don't have the tech to develop a problem.
Do you think?
I reckon they're further along than we think they are. I think they're 50 to 100 years ahead of what we think they are, because they have reverse engineered an alien craft and probably have other tech that we don't know about. Okay, and before we go on to the Chinese billionaire, do you remember Aleister Crowley and that little alien-looking thing that he used to worship? I can't remember what it was called. Lamb or something, I think it was. Let me know in the comments below, please, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've thought since way back that they are interdimensional, not necessarily extraterrestrial. I can't wait to find out. Okay, the Chinese billionaire who funds US protest groups, Neville Singham, channels money to the Party of Socialism and Liberation. Code Pink Anti-War and Social Justice Organisation through his wife. Not for the causes, but divide America from within. Well, I always thought it was George Soros, so there's a new name, Neville Singham. Let's have a listen.
It came out via actually this woman, her name's Data Republican on X, and she actually tracked down the funding line. And what was happening was the Chinese government was basically propping up this American billionaire, Neville Singham, and actually he was donating money to organizations like Party of Socialism and Liberation, and they were actually funding a lot of these riot pop-ups in the area. So you had people that were being divided, for example, on the immigration topic. You literally have them passing out, Mexican flags saying that they cared about immigrants, when in actuality, the financial ties was actually coming from the CCP. So the Chinese government, on many occasions, and it's not uncommon within Congress to know, even on apps like TikTok, they were showing certain information in order to cause a rift and influence people. This same individual, Neville Singham, actually, once we got this information, we sent a request to have him come testify to Congress. And he spends part of his year in Shanghai, China, and so we were not able to deliver him his subpoena, basically. And so there's a letter that Chairman Comer has now authorized to be sent that will go to the Treasury Department to freeze his assets unless he comes to testify to Congress.
Wow.
Do it. The immigration system is broken on purpose. Luna revealed both parties keep it broken intentionally. They fundraise off chaos. Democrats on compassion, Republicans on security. Nobody actually wants solutions because the issue brings in donations.
Also, there's something that we've been able to introduce. So this is like the more populist representation where you see both the right and the left kind of agree on certain things. And there's another bill that I'm introducing with another Democrat and another Republican that's a more moderate Republican, but it's actually to cap student loan interest at 2.5%.
That would be wonderful, because I was just going to ask you about that. I was reading this woman on X, and she was talking about how she graduated with student loans that equaled, I think it was $28,000. She's paid off. She's never missed a payment. Paid off $24,000, and she still owes $60,000.
Yeah. So what they do is
That's
actually,
crazy.
and I've been quoted on this, but it creates an indentured servant basically for the rest of their life. They're paying off this debt, and you can never actually, function.
Right, that's
and it's not fair.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
If she's telling the truth, and I believe she is, that's absolutely insane. That you could owe $60,000+ after a $24,000 or $28,000 loan when you've paid $24,000 of it off.
It's if for people that are actually trying to better themselves that might have to take out loans for that, it's crippling, and then they actually can't get a good start at being contributing members of society because they're always functioning in the debt.
Exactly.
You're never going to get anywhere. That's horrible. I didn't think it was that bad. Jeez. Okay, anyway. Congress members rely on insider trading. Politicians earn $175,000 yearly. After a few years, they're worth millions. Luna's forcing votes on banning insider trading and term limits. She was told it would cost us the Republic. She's doing it anyway.
There was a comms director meeting for the entire GOP, and I'm calling up Bitchute's bill on banning insider trading, and we were not invited to that to that meeting. Our staff was excommunicated from that.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. Something
How
about
weird.
making money. Weird.
Shocker. It's crazy how like openly corrupt that part of the business is. But the thing is, once you've become accustomed to be able to do something and you've been able to do it for decades, you're very reluctant to give that up. Why would you give that up? That's a huge advantage.
People say that it doesn't exist, but last time I checked, when you are given access to CEOs, when you're given access to information that are affecting markets, and then you're on the committee or that has purview over those bills, you do have information. Like,
seems like you have a little, you have a little more than the average person.
And there's a lot. You can look at people's. They go in, you're making 175 a year, and then all of a sudden you come out, you're worth like 20 million, 200 million. It's kind of shady.
You're not really gambling.
No.
The stock market is kind of gambling. You're not like the UFC doesn't even allow me to gamble, and I can't even affect the outcome.
But
How about that?
so you can't do it, but Congress can.
But Congress
They can.
can.
For
It's
now,
like,
at least.
the inside information that I have, anybody could have. Mostly. Not really. No, that's not true. No, I know some stuff sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was told if I forced a vote that I was going to cost us the Republic, is what I was told.
But the thing about
you need to get that sorted out anyway. Okay, the CIA used psychic techniques to locate the Ark of the Covenant. Documents from 1988 show an attempt to find the sacred biblical artifact. Allegedly, it's in the Middle East, underground, dark, wet, and protected by unknown forces. The notes are on the CIA website. This is interesting.
Check it out. What's interesting is the CIA allegedly located the Ark of the Covenant. I think the
remote viewed.
They remote viewed it. You can actually find that. You should actually pull
Ethiopia?
it up. No, not in Ethiopia, but it was in a Middle Eastern country. They weren't able to locate the actual. I think the New York Post did an article on it where they actually have the handwritten notes on the Ark of the Covenant location, and they remote viewed it. You should ask them to pull it up. Yeah, I'm serious about it.
Did they go there and see if they
I
were
don't know
correct?
if they did. I don't know. This is like Indiana Jones.
What?
But
Decades-old CIA documents on Ark of the Covenant resurfaced amid classified group text spat. What?
wait, like, yeah.
It was a group text argument that caused this stuff to be
No,
released?
pull up the New York Post one because they actually have the handwritten notes from the remote viewer that actually documents it.
Okay.
It should be, I think it's like the New York Post.
That's so funny.
Oh, there you go.
There
Top
it
one. This is wild because it actually goes into descriptions of angels too. And so actually in Enoch it talks about, well, if you scroll down, now you can probably click on the scribed because it'll show you all the documents from the actual declassified file. This is also on CIA.gov.
What year was this?
This happened recently. This was like a couple months ago that this just kind of came all out.
Right, but what year was this project? Does it say?
1988.
88.
5 December 1988.
Wow.
So scroll down.
So in 88, they found the Ark of the Covenant?
Allegedly they remote viewed it. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't trust remote viewing as yet until, maybe they can prove it. I don't know. The Book of Enoch was removed from the Bible. It describes fallen angels teaching humans advanced knowledge, angels mixing with mankind. But the Ethiopian Orthodox Church still has it. The crazy bit, Luna swore her oath on their Bible.
That's smart because there's always an aspect of translation where you lose
Sure.
certain implications.
If you're playing the telephone game, you want to be second. You
Yeah,
don't want to be 15th.
Exactly.
Right? And whoever was writing it down the earliest, that's probably you're closer to their depictions of what that truth is than after King James starts fucking around with it and all these
Want
other
a new
people,
wife, gotta remove
all
certain
these
stuff.
new people start getting involved. But boy, when you go to the really old stuff, the really old stuff is very strange.
I'm telling you, the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, I actually had a staffer that went to Ethiopia. She was on a church trip, and she actually brought me back a copy, and she's like, you can translate it via Google Translation, so kudos to modern day technology. So I have it in my office, and actually when I did my swearing in, I actually did my swearing in on the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible.
Wow.
It's cool. It's direct translation.
That's kind of crazy.
That's smart because there's always
And that's what we need. The CIA admitted wrongdoing in the JFK tragedy. They released the Joanides file showing CIA liaison lied to Congress. Joanides stonewalled investigations. Warren Commission intimidated witnesses, but that's not even the crazy part.
And then we find out simultaneously as this is all happening that the CIA, kudos to Director Radcliffe, had actually released something called the Joanides file. And George Joanides was actually, he's basically our version of James Bond, but more corrupt. And he was basically observing Oswald. He had lied to Congress. This was all in his file. He was then the CIA liaison to Congress during the investigations, stonewalled their investigations, was later awarded something from the CIA. So we have the CIA admitting that they lied to Congress, covered up the assassination attempt, or covered up the investigations. We had admissions from the Warren Commission. People that had been subject to the Warren Commission's investigation saying that the Warren Commission engaged in witness intimidation. They omitted evidence. The single bullet theory never exists. The CIA admits that Lee Harvey Oswald was not a lone gunman. People ask, well, does this mean that you'll ever get the name of who killed him? No, because I don't think the CIA was like, kill JFK on this day and use this gun and have this person assigned.
Right.
But there was evidence of multiple shooters.
Yeah, I think someone in the front seat too. Russia agreed to release their JFK files. The KGB conducted their own investigation in 1963 and gave it to US officials at Kennedy's funeral. We never got those documents, but Russia will release everything this fall. See, we have everything.
And I had a meeting recently where I was with two other members of Congress that were helping me with the JFK investigation. And we actually met for the first time since 1990 with the ambassador to the Russian government. And I bring that up because at the time of the JFK assassination, the KGB had actually come forward with their own independent investigation, and they actually gave it at Kennedy's funeral to U.S. officials. We never got those documents, and it's my belief that the CIA actually destroyed that information and evidence because it would have confirmed what the KGB. And mind you, at the time, JFK was actually in talks with the president of Russia at that time, and his perspective is that he actually wanted to do a joint mission between the U.S. government and the Russian government to the moon. And there are aspects and divisions within the intelligence community. You obviously saw the Cold War was happening. They wanted war in Cuba. They wanted war with Russia. So for them to be able to say that Kennedy, who was not a communist, but that he was a communist sympathizer, and how dare he talk to these dirty communists. I mean, that in itself would have given them any ammunition to turn a blind eye or at least not fully figure out who assassinated Kennedy.
Crazy. More than anything, Luna revealed where power is really heading. The government can control a few big tech companies, but they can't control millions of individual voices, each with their own direct audience and influence.
Well, look, part of the reason that you're so successful, in my opinion, is because you actually say what you think. Like, you're not putting on a show. Actually, you have no reason to put on a show. You put on a whole bunch of shows, and they've already been successful. And you're actually asking the questions that are genuine questions, and people can trust you because of that. And that means that you're letting the words emerge as they come to you. And doing that with each word, that's a decision, because you can use your language to manipulate, and you can use your language for your own, say, hedonistic purposes or to gain power. Or you can just say what you think. All of those different choices are a decision. That's a wrestling. That's a moral decision. Well, look, here.
Yep, I say what I think. I don't care. They can come and arrest me. I still don't care. This is why personal brands are becoming the most powerful force for maintaining freedom. When enough people build direct audiences, control becomes impossible. Yeah, until they censor you and delete your channel. 2 of them. This is why they fear creators and personal brands so much, and why Joe Rogan is as successful as he is.
But really, today in society, you get rewarded for creative work, for creating something brand new that society didn't even know yet that it wanted. So the most powerful money makers are actually individual brands, people like yourself, or Elon, or Kanye, or Oprah, or Trump, right? These are individual brands, eponymous name brands, who themselves are leveraged. You have podcast media going out to everybody that podcasts work for you when you sleep. They have knowledge that nobody else has, which is your knowledge is the knowledge of being Joe Rogan. I mean, who else is a UFC fighter and a commentator and a podcaster and a comedian and, interested in all these things and knows all these people? Can't replace you. So we have to pay you what you're worth. But really, today in society, you get rewarded for creative work, for creating something brand new that society didn't even know yet that it wanted. So the most powerful money makers are actually individual brands, people like yourself, or Elon, or...
Not when you get deleted, you're not. He shares his stories, he showcases unique, unfiltered views to millions and built a cult-like following. The best bit, anyone can leverage it. No, they can't. Not when you are deleted off YouTube. twice.
I don't think everyone should be famous. I don't think everyone should build a personal brand. I don't think everyone should anything. You can do whatever you want. And I have billionaire friends who want to stay anonymous, and they're pretty smart dudes. I do think that from a money-making perspective, it is a time warp. You can just go way faster. That is because you can attract talent at such a higher rate than you could otherwise. You can bring people on who already know your values, know what you're about, have already consumed more content than most people's employees currently know about them and their way of doing business. You can basically pre-train your entire team before they come on board because of the amount of stuff that you put out. And those are just unbelievably valuable things. Not to mention, if you're on the deal side, you know, like for us, like investing in companies, we have so much more trust at the table. It's so much better as a process, having been on both types of deals, like white knuckle deals and really friendly deals. Way more fun to do friendly deals. So that's the pros. I don't think everyone should be famous. I don't think everyone should.
Okay. Yes, well, you can't exactly do, like I was a brand name, the first channel I had. It had nearly 40,000 subscribers. They deleted that one. The next one they wouldn't let grow. It got to 3,500 and they deleted that one. Now this one I'm on 499 currently. It could drop. I'm hoping it goes higher. If you can help me out, please sub. I really appreciate that because they won't let me grow now. They've already deleted me twice. They will not let me grow. And I was right. What they deleted me for, I was correct. It was medical misinformation, they said, but it was correct in the end, 5 years later. When you build a strong personal brand, investors look to you as an industry leader. Customers are pre-sold on trust and authenticity. People don't buy from faceless corporations anymore. They go to the founders they truly connect with. The best bit, you can start today. I'm trying, mate. I'm trying. Founders, we'll build your personal company brand on X without you lifting a finger. Yeah, no, you won't be able to do it with me. And on X, no, I don't know. Anyway, they are if you want help to build a personal company or brand, okay, Fernando Cowell, if that's how his actual name is spelt. So there you go. I mean, said, pronounced. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. That was a bit of a long thread, and I wanted to play every single video in there. What do you think about all this? You can let me know down below. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, guys, have a good one, and I'll be back in a couple of days. Bye, guys.